What's going on, everyone? Gelman with Live Stocks back with another video taking a look at NIO Stock today. So we'll take a look at how the stock's been doing recently, some catalysts that are coming up, as well as some news that have recently dropped the stock price down, and then dig a little deeper into the stock and kind of see the support and resistance levels that we're looking out for to get an idea of where the stock could move in the future. So real quick, if you enjoy videos like this, hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. Each like and subscribe really helps me out as I'm trying to grow, and comment down below what your thoughts on NIO are, and I'd love to chat with you guys down there. So real quick, let me pull up the chart on my computer and we can get started here. Alrighty, let me hit record. So NIO Stock has dropped a lot since its high set in kind of late November, right? If we take a look at the year-to-date chart, though, we're talking about a stock that was $2 at the beginning of this year, now trading at 42, even after the decent fall we had over 8% on Friday. So let's take a look at why that fall happened. I'll quickly cover that. So the reason that fall happened is because they're selling 60 million new shares with the opportunity for some of those underwriters to buy an additional 9 million shares, so 69 million shares in total that are being offered. Now, since it is since it is a company not based in the United States, they do what's called ADSs, American Depository Shares. Essentially means the same thing, though, raising as much as 2.8 billion based on the price that the stock closed at. I at least don't know. I know I said in the last video someone commented $44. I read that somewhere as well, but now I can't find any reputable source that says $44. So waiting to see what that is. I haven't found out just yet, but I will let you guys know once I find that out. The reason they want to raise this cash is because they want to do corporate purposes, which I don't really care about, but this is pretty cool. They want to do a new product development of self-driving technologies, and to expand their sales and service network, one of which is their battery swap stations. So I think that's pretty cool. You can go in and it'll be automated, and you can just take one battery up, put another one in, and be on move about your day. One of the kind of hindrances in these electric vehicles is how long they take to charge. With a gas car, you can go in, take a couple minutes, refuel, but battery usually takes longer. And not that that's an issue for a lot of people, because a battery now can last 200 to 300 miles on a decent car, well, on the Teslas at least, and that's a lot less than, or that's a lot more than what a typical person would drive in a day. So I guess only for long distances. This is pretty similar to Tesla that announced a $5 billion raise, Li Auto, which raised about 1.3 billion, and XPeng, which had a 2.2 billion stock still as well. So the fact that NIO did it is not too surprising. I think it's actually a great move from the company, because they're taking advantage of how much the stock has really ran up. So to issue shares at this price is a smart move for the company, as they're kind of looking for that money to be able to grow and increase sales. Sales of EV are expected to go up a ton in the next year, so the fact that they're doing this is great news. Now, one of the catalysts that I want to cover, like I said, we want to cover the bad news, and then kind of something that I think could be positive for the company moving on, and then we'll kind of do the stock analysis itself. So we've got NIO Day coming up, which is an event on January 9th. It's a little less than a month away. That's where NIO typically showcases their technology, their cars, what they're looking to do in the future, which is going to bring a lot of attention, hopefully good attention, into the company, in my opinion. This is going to be their 4th NIO Day, and they're expected to launch a new sedan that's called the ET7 that's supposed to be competing with the Tesla Model S. With the growth of EV, with this event coming up, for me personally, NIO is a very sound company that I'm hoping will go up in the long term. One thing, though, now moving on to this kind of stock analysis perspective that I want to point out, let's go to the hourly chart and try to kind of see what we see. The reason I'm looking at the hourly chart is because I really want to kind of dig deeper into these days and the decline that's happened since 11/24 on the share price. So as you can see, this is an hourly chart, and we are making lower highs consistently, and this kind of line coming down, this descending line has been acting as a pretty solid level of resistance. We are trading now at 41.98, 41.52 after hours, which is a lot lower than this 58 price, obviously, that we were just a couple weeks ago. We've seen swings like this, where this day it went from kind of the 53s all the way down to 40 before kind of rallying back up. So like Tesla, right, NIO is also prone to some swings. Now let's draw some lines on this chart. I'll try to cover NIO more often since, a lot of people are interested in that stock and I'm watching it closely as well. The first level of support for me, after this point, just from a price level perspective, comes in right in the mid sort of, or mid to high 40s, right, in this $40.50, $40.60, $40.70, whatever you want to call it. We'll take a look why in just a second, and let me draw, actually, let's take a look now. So what we see is, this level right here acted as a good support on 1207. We scroll back, it also acted as a good support twice right there on 1113, 1116, and then even back here what we see is that the low for that day, we bounced there. We did make a lower low that day, but a lot of bounces coming off of this line right in the mid $40 range. Now another level that I really want to look at is pretty similar to what this bounce point was for us this past week, and that was kind of that 30.54 level, right? This is 38.43. If we go back here, where did it go? That was this week. If we go back here, right, again, this bounce off of 38.11, this bounce off of 38s, this bounce, as well as consolidation happening, both acting as a resistance before we got there and support after we got there. So from a price level perspective, those are the levels that I'm personally watching. I do have a long position on NIO, and I am looking to add to my position. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, so you do whatever you see in the stock, whatever you're comfortable with, and whatever analysis you agree with. I see potential in the company with EV on the rise. I'm not allocating a giant portion of my portfolio into NIO. That's just not how I like to invest. I do small trades in various different companies. That way, I get to kind of capture the rewards of different companies while also kind of alleviating that risk that if NIO goes under, right? I'm not saying it's going to happen, but if NIO goes under, a lot of my investment is other investments are still there. So that kind of brings me to my question is, we have been trading lower and lower with this level coming up as support. I would really like to see, technically, let me draw another line just so we can have that in case we push above it, right kind of there in the mid 42s, where we kind of see this consolidation happening right there, this bounce off of that, and then these bounces as well, and then consolidation back here. So the reason I draw these lines is because we are now under this kind of 42.30s, 42.50s line and trading between this line and the 40.72 line. Just based on the trend we see on this hourly chart, it is very possible that we go down to visit this mid 40s, like 40.50, 40.70 range before we move back up. It's even possible that if that level of support doesn't hold up, that we go down even further to the 38.50s level. But what we have is this line acting as great resistance. So I personally think that, as this line comes down even more, what we'll begin to see is the stock is going to be kind of trapped and it has to go one way or the other. Personally, I think that if we can validate this 40.72 level of support, maybe even that 38 level of support, then move up, right? I could see the stock consolidating, taking a little bit, and then kind of run into NIO Day, which is coming up in a little less than a month, like I said. But until then, what I'm looking at is this top line acting as resistance, right? Or if it doesn't act as resistance, boom, we're out of this range. We are trading above this line, and we could see this line act as support. You guys know how I drew this line on the hourly chart. Feel free to have that yourself if you want to view that when you make your trades. Other than that, I can see this 42s being a short-term resistance level, this 40.70s being a support, and then if we drop more, this 38.50s being a support as well. Now let's take a look at what we see in the daily chart, hopefully we see a breakout. Hopefully we see, maybe a little bit of revisiting that bottom level support, maybe a little bit of consolidating, and then, pushing out of that range and kind of making those higher 40s to $50 range as we approach NIO Day. That's my guess. Now we'll see how the market looks, right? And how NIO Stock kind of correlates with that market outlook. Let's take a look at the EMAs, and what we'll see is, we're now trading on the daily chart below the 8 EMA, 21 EMA, kind of right at that 34 EMA, coming in at 42.14. And then we've got the 55 EMA coming in right at 37.47, which is slightly below that, I was going to say shortly below, but slightly below that mid 38s level. So if we do break that mid 38s level, which I think should hold hopefully as good support, we've got that line coming in at 37.47 as well. And then from a 4-hour perspective, we are now below all the EMAs. So the first level of EMA to catch up on would be 42.55, and that's the 8 EMA. I would love for the stock, which kind of aligns with this line that we have drawn right in the mid 42s. I would like to see the stock trade above this level, use that level as support, use the 8 EMA as support, and then push up, hopefully hitting against this line a couple times and then breaking out. Again, I'm long on this company. I think the company does have potential with the amount that we're expecting EV growth in the next couple of years, but a lot in 2021. Really excited to see what NIO does. I'll continue to make videos on this if you guys would like. Let me know down in the comment section what you guys are doing with NIO, and I'd love to chat with you guys down there. Again, hopefully a little bit of consolidation or revalidating some of these supports, and then we see a push up, hopefully a break out of this line that has been acting as resistance. Now, if for some reason there is a lot of market weakness, right, that's something that we also have to take into consideration. NIO will be no exception to that. If we see a giant sell-off, then we see a giant sell-off, right, and NIO is going to partake in that giant sell-off as well. So just something to keep in mind as you are continuing with your trade. Currently the EMAs don't look too good, but I'm hoping with a little bit of consolidation time and uptrend, we could see a switch in trends and hopefully draw a line that doesn't look like this and looks like one going up. So hopefully you guys found this video helpful. If you did, drop a like down below, comment what you are thinking of NIO, what you want to do with NIO stock if you own any, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. And it really helps me out. Let's remember to be a bit better every single day. Hope everyone's having a great weekend, and until next time.